This segment of the news is brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office.
Well, it's time to hit the road for a summer trip. Oil prices are going down. Angela Miles reports in today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, crude oil is tanking. On Tuesday, crude tumbled to $43 per barrel, the lowest level of the year and down more than 20% from its high in 2017. Some analysts suggest oil could seep below $40 as Nigeria and Libya consider stepping up production. FedEx is one of the companies that benefits from low oil prices. After the close on Tuesday, FedEx reported earnings that beat expectations by a mile. Revenue was also better than predicted. The stock rallied in the after-hours session. Replacing cashiers with kiosks is the latest way McDonald's is upgrading its restaurants. Analysts say 2,500 McDonald's will include the digital ordering kiosks by the end of the year. McDonald's shares hit an all-time high in trading on Tuesday, as Wall Street cheered the idea that might not be so great for people on Main Street who depend on those cashier jobs.
Well, a new restaurant open on Blag Road has people buzzing lately. News 46 stopped by Tony's Grill, formerly Pahrump Cafe, to find out more.
We had these ideas about 10 years ago when we came to Pahrump. In that time, we have mobile kitchens. And when people approach us, about the food and the way that we make all this food, so they liked it in that time. And that was take us to come to Pahrump and open up. In Tony's Grill. So now my main things in here is how we can supply the food with not any type of chemical preservative in the food. Yeah. So all our food is make it fresh every 2 hours. Whatever we have, we throw them away, or if we out, we make it then fresh food. So in that aspect, it's going to take a little bit longer, but we guarantee that it's 100% fresh. And we bring a lot of gluten-free. We have it. If you guys looking for something gluten-free, we're going to have it here in Tony's Grill.
Tell me about your history with cooking.
Well, I started when I was 16 years old in the food business. After that I used to work for one of the hotels in Puerto Rico, and the chef over there, he see that I really want to learn, and he sent me to cooking school in that time. Yeah. And after that I keep doing my career in cooking aspect. 1984, I cooked for the John Paul II in Puerto Rico. That was University Sagrado Corazon. Wow. And I like the governor, Carlos Romero Barceló, that's a governor in Puerto Rico. We cook for them. Yeah. Rafael Hernandez Colon, that's another governor over there. Wow. After that we came to Vegas, and Mr. Miyagi, Arnold Schwarzenegger, a lot of different movie stars that we work with.
So we're lucky enough to have you here right in Pahrump, right where the Pahrump Cafe was located. It's Tony's Grill now, though, right?
That's correct. Yeah. We located, there used to be Pahrump Cafe, and now we changed the name for Tony's Grill.
We're located at 2610 North Blag. It's between Blag and Patricia. It's our cross streets.
And so this was the old Pahrump Cafe, but you guys are getting new signage right on front, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Right. So I saw you on Facebook?
Yeah, we do our marketing through Facebook. We post our daily specials, and we apply to all of our customers and try to communicate with the community.
What's the hours of operation here?
From 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day.
And then can people call in orders?
Yes, they can call in their orders and pick up to go. We're going to offer catering options as well, and you can call ahead and we can prepare that.
What's the number?
775-727-7230.
Pahrump Valley Winery is making history for Pahrump and the state of Nevada when it comes to the wine industry. Today, a groundbreaking was held behind their Symphony restaurant.
Today we are doing a groundbreaking on a major expansion of the winery. It's been in the planning for a very long time. My builder is looking at me, nodding his head. Yes, it's been a lot of revisions, but we are doing a major upgrade. This is over $1 million investment that we'll be making here at the winery. It's about a 7,000 square foot addition to the building, and it is going to allow us to grow from about 8,000 to 10,000 cases that we're able to do now with the limited space that we have, to easily get up to at least 50,000 cases of wine a year. So this is a big push for the state of Nevada. We're really proud to be leading the way.
What are you going to be having here in this expansion area?
It is for wine production, wine storage, and for bottling. New bottling room, new bottling line, case storage, wine storage, and we have all kinds of, we've got a dozen new stainless steel tanks on order that will be here. They're very expensive, but they're needed for wine production, and so we're really excited. We've been wanting to do this for years. It's just the time is right.
What's the timeline for the actual construction?
It should be done pretty much around the end of the year.
Who's the contractor?
Ken Murphy from Shadow Mountain Construction. He's been a big help. He's helped me throughout the years and all the projects that we do. I do want to point out one thing that I think is really important, and it's one of the reasons I asked James Oscarson to be here today. We would not be doing this today if it hadn't been for James Oscarson, and let me tell you why. This is as a result of the new vineyards that are going in around the state after the legislation changed governing the way wineries work in this state a couple of years ago, so that would encourage grape growers to put in grapes versus alfalfa. So by changing the law, that created the demand for the grapes. The holdings that we have now for grape growing in the state is mushroomed. We're putting another 5 acres in again next week. We put in 10 acres last year. We're pushing 30 acres now. We were only at about 6 or 7 acres 2 years ago.
I think this is a great thing. We had some legislation last session that allowed the wineries to grow, to continue to move the winery industry in Nevada forward. This is a great opportunity for that to happen. As you can see, that legislation obviously has been effective because we're doing a great expansion here. Bill and Gretchen Loken give so much back to this community. It's great to see them expanding and seeing the support that they're getting, from all over the state for what they've done here.
We also caught up with Assemblyman James Oscarson at the event to talk about the adjourned legislative session.
Well, it was a very interesting session. We were able to hold a lot of the reforms and a lot of things we did in the previous session, 2015 session. It was challenging, but it was eventful, and we're grateful to be back in the community again and here as accessible as we can be for the people to talk to.
What's some of the bills that really stood out or you championed?
Well, I think water was a really important thing that we talked about. It was critical that we maintain the domestic well owners' water rights. We did some things with beneficial use that are going to be just really helpful, I think, throughout the next interim. Continue to have those discussions with the people here in the community to see what we need to do. Protected some of the the gun rights that people had. Didn't let any of those things change. Healthcare, some healthcare issues. We don't have the final everything from the governor yet because Friday was the deadline. Mm-hmm. So we're waiting for those bills to come through, and I'd certainly like to be able to do a little more in-depth discussion with you when that happens.
All right. And so the governor's either vetoed or signed off on some of these, so we'll be getting the list in just days?
Everything that has been done up to this point has already been signed, and the deadlines are over. So what he's vetoed. What's become law has become law. So we're looking forward to seeing that final list, and then I'll be glad to sit down and we can visit in depth about specific bills if you'd like to do that.
So you're back at Desert View now?
Back at Desert View, glad to be there, glad to be back in my community and sleeping in my own bed.
All right, we'll have more of your local news here on News 46 in just a few minutes.